What's cracking, guys? This is Bruce Matson, your host of the show of Metro Scout Fantasy Football. Today, we're going to be dropping our top 10 cornerstone rankings for wide receivers. Cornerstone rankings are going to be covering rookies, younger players from the last three draft classes, wide receivers from the 2020 rookie class, the 2021 rookie class, and the 2022 rookie class coming up. So we're going to be mixing guys like Justin Jefferson with Jamar Chase and also with Treylon Burks. You're going to get a good mix of these values. You're going to get a good mix of how these players can interchange with each other. And these rankings are pretty hard to do. They are very fluid, and really I can change these up by the day. They're very close with each other. That's why cornerstone rankings are very important, because it allows you to get a good gauge of what to invest in for the future. Also, I have more of these cornerstone rankings coming out, so make sure you hit that subscribe button so you're staying tuned to the channel. Let's go over our first player in our wide receiver cornerstone rankings, and I'm pretty sure you're going to guess this because he's probably in a lot of people's, and it's Justin Jefferson. Came out in the 2020 draft class. He's one of the most productive wide receivers in football right now. He has 12 wide receiver 1 weeks on his career, 7 this year. He is a wide receiver 1. He is a baller, and he is one of the most, if not the most, expensive players to trade for in Dynasty. He is going to be productive for a long time. His upside is a Hall of Fame gold jacket at Canton. That's his upside. That is his foreseeable upside, and it is not unlikely that he doesn't tap into it if he continues to produce like this, if he doesn't get hurt really bad, if he doesn't just fall off the map, because right now he's been balling, he's been consistent, and he's been putting it together for 2 years now. Let's move on to our second player on this list, and I'm going to be going with Jamar Chase, the young wide receiver, blowing up this year, looks the part. 5 wide receiver 1 weeks, and he's an explosive player. He's dynamic. He can get downfield, and also engaging the market. He is very expensive to trade for. One of the most expensive players in Dynasty. Some people even have him as their 101 pick, top 5 pick. He is up there in all the mock drafts that I do. There's no escaping him being a top player in the cornerstone rankings. Going to 3 in these wide receiver rankings, the next player I got here is C.D. Lamb. He's connected with Dak Prescott. He's going to be with this team for a bit. Dak's going to be with this team for a bit. This is going to be a connection that's going to be there for a long time. Amari Cooper's still good. He's still going to be there. He's still starting to show his age, though. Injuries and everything else. Eventually, this is going to revert more to CeeDee Lamb. There is some competition in the offense for Lamb, but he's still able to be productive. He has 7 wide receiver 1 weeks over the course of his career and 4 this year. Going over to the 4th player on this list, I'm going to be putting up T. Higgins from the 2020 class, and this guy is a magician. He is very good at the catch point. Contested catches usually almost always goes his way, paired with Joe Burrow, and I want all the pieces from this Bengals offense. He's very efficient. He can high point the ball, and really he's a high-end wide receiver too. Usually on average, when you look at his production, like production point per game basis, however, those spike weeks are glorious. He has 6 wide receiver 1 weeks over his career, 3 this year, and when he blows up usually one of the top wide receivers in scoring for that given week. T. Higgins also gives you a steady baseline. I like T. Higgins for the long haul. He's only a 22-year-old wide receiver. He'll be 23 like next year. So a young asset that we can have on our teams for a long time, who's been continuously producing. Now is where the controversy happens. Now is where we get a little creative, because we got some options here that we can go with that can go one way or another. But here at the 5th pick, I'm dipping into those 2022 waters because I'm chasing an upside. I'm chasing the talent. Talent always beats situation, and I know this guy's going to be a first-round pick, and that's Treylon Burks from Arkansas. He's going to be the top wide receiver in this year's class. Really, right now, from gauging the waters, from watching the markets, from the videos I pumped out between here and the DLF channel, he is consistently, or at least been valued as like the 101, 102, 103 pick among drafts, rookie drafts. And then sometimes in Superflex, people are taking him at the 101 over the quarterbacks. When quarterbacks are pumped up, that value is up there. And that's only going to increase going forward between now and the draft when people start looking at his production and his rookie draft profile. He's got size adjusted speed for days. He's like 230 pounds, and he's going to at least run in the 4.4s. He may hit the 4.3s, and I highly doubt it he hits those 4.5s. He's got burst. He's got speed for days. He can get downfield. Treylon Burks is a guy that you want to value highly in Dynasty Fantasy Football. On to the 6th pick. This guy has been blowing up these recent weeks, and the community, the industry is starting to get a gauge on it. We've been talking about him on the channel for a while now, doing film studies, letting you know his potential, and that's Jalen Waddle from the 2021 draft class, and he's with the Dolphins, paired with Tua. Those two are going to be together for a while. They've had that marriage from Alabama, and really, Waddle has been going off, getting their short to intermediate targets, and they're trying to hit into that speed on the yak, the yards after the catch. Some plays they hit it, some plays they don't, but he's getting a lot of volume, making him a valuable fantasy asset. And between him and Burks, it really depends on what you want. Burks has more upside. Burks is really a more talented wide receiver. However, we know what we got with Waddle. We know he's paired with Tua. We know he's already producing at the NFL level. However, both are unknown commodities at this point. Waddle is just into his career. He's only been in his career for one season. Burks hasn't even started yet, but we do know Burks is also going to be a first-round pick. Burks is also talented. Burks can also do a lot of things and more that Waddle can and can't do. So these are two very talented wide receiver prospects. You can't knock either one of them. Just take your flavor. At the 7th pick here for the top 10 rankings, I am going to go Devonta Smith from the 2021 draft class. And the reason why is I'm still going over that collegiate profile. And also, he's been a key staple of the Eagles offense, getting over 20% target share, Heisman Trophy winner. Volatile, though, rookie production. 3 wide receiver 1 weeks, a couple wide receiver 2 weeks, and a lot of bomb weeks. That's going to happen in that offense. I look for things to stabilize going forward, but really, we're banking on what we saw from him out of Alabama, from those key plays, those big games from this year, and really, we're not fading young players, especially when they flash their potential. Devonta Smith has flashed. He's flashed enough, and really, the sky's the limit with this prospect. Unfortunately, he is with a bunch of other young prospects that are also really damn good. Here is the next pick at the 108 spot. And if you've been following the channel, this probably wouldn't be a surprise to you, but Rashod Bateman is a very talented wide receiver. If he started the year healthy, if he started the year ready to go, I believe he would have been a 1,000-yard wide receiver. I believe he would have had multiple touchdowns. Also, the Ravens been dealing with injuries at the quarterback position, everywhere else, and this offense has just got wonky at times as well. Bateman has really shown enough and flashed enough potential to where we cannot really devalue him. We at least got to hold him steady to what we had preseason, because he has shown his clips every week almost. That Steelers game where he didn't catch a ball, that doesn't count. Where he was producing, where he was at least showing flashes of him being able to make plays, like last week. Only caught 4 balls, but got his first touchdown. Prior to that, against the Browns, he reeled in a couple of nice catches, put up some good fantasy points, and Rashod Bateman is really coming into his own. As we get further down the line, as we get more development, more continuity with the offense, I look for Rashod Bateman to be more of a fantasy asset for those fantasy gamers looking to get something out of him in the future. At 9, we're going back to the 2022 draft class because we have to. We have to capitalize on this talent. Some guys has him as the top wide receiver in this class, and I can understand. He's going to have first-round draft capital. He is really good. He can pretty much do it all. He's a technician when it comes to running routes. He's got ball skills for days. He's a very good wide receiver. He's been tremendous, and I'm talking about Garrett Wilson from Ohio State. First-round prospect, probably going to be in an all right situation. Look for him to be targeted often during the early stages of his career. And look, a lot of these young rookie wide receivers, during their rookie season, we're starting to see a lot more out of them. Think about this year. We're seeing these wide receivers pop off and on throughout the year. And we're going to see that too with this class. Garrett Wilson, we're going to see his value increase more once we get closer to the draft. And really, I like to be ahead of the curve. I like to be ahead of those people. I get it. People are looking at the players producing right now. However, those guys are going to get diluted down from this draft. Garrett Wilson has a lot of upside. He's going to have the draft capital to make him worth that upside, and that's something I want to be a part of. Speaking of upside, for this last pick, 10th pick in this rankings, my 10th guy, Drake London from USC, and this guy is a baller. He's kind of like a Mike Evans-esque type of player. He can get downfield, he can bring it home, he can climb the ladder. One of the most productive wide receivers in college football before he got hurt. A former basketball player, can box out at the catch point. He is also going to be a major riser when it comes to now and to the draft. I look for him to be a first-round pick. I look for him to be a highly coveted asset, and this is probably going to be the cheapest time you're going to be able to get some of these young wide receivers, because once they start to hit, the value is going to go through the roof. So this is my top 10 cornerstone rankings. This is what I have right now. Things could be different in a few days, few weeks, months, but I'm going to have more of these videos coming out. I have the running backs coming out next here, maybe a few days, a week or so, whatever. But I really wanted to get this out on video so you guys had these rankings, and we'll chop it up again, maybe top 20. If you get me, say, 20 likes on this video, I'll drop you a top 20 cornerstone rankings next time, probably about next month or so. But I want to thank you for watching the show, and I'll catch you next time.